Hey, what's going on, world? It's me again, Ethan Smith, aka Mr. P.I.E.N. Daily Dose Positive Post, man. Restoration. What is restoration? Well, Webster's Dictionary says restoration is the act of restoring something back to its rightful owner, place, or condition. So a lot of times where I'm from, in Michigan, up north, Motor City, we restore old cars. 66s, 54s, 77s, 86s. We restore old things and we bring them back to a new. We restore the old glory that was in them. But the thing about our life is when you go through tragedies and you go through ups and downs and you go through trials and tribulations, you also can be restored. But your restoration has to come from a higher power. Your restoration has to come from God above. Your restoration has to come from Allah. Your restoration has to come from Buddha or whoever, whatever spiritual guidance you believe in. But even with the restoration coming from them, it takes you taking that first step towards restoration. See, you have to look in that mirror and you have to tell yourself the things of your past is no longer who you are now. The things that hurt you in the past doesn't hurt you now. You sometimes have to step outside of that garage. You have to step out of that basement. You have to step out of that shed. You have to step out of that attic. You have to knock the dust off of you. You have to clean yourself up. You have to buff yourself. You have to shine yourself. You have to restore your mind. You have to start feeding your mind intelligent thoughts. You have to restore your mind with positive thoughts. You have to restore yourself with the people that you gather around. Because see, sometimes when you sit in that junkyard with people with an old mindset, with old friends, then you just rust out and you never become restored. So restoration is about taking those old things and cleaning them up and restoring them to their rightful or their pristine past condition, the past pristine condition that there was in, or their rightful place. But in order to be restored, it takes work. So you first must pull that vehicle out of the garage. You must clean that vehicle off. You must take off the old parts and you must put new parts on. So when you go to restore your mind, you have to do away with the old thoughts. You have to do away with the old negativities. Don't constantly live in your past. If you're looking back, look at your memories. Because most people, when they look in their past, they always see the negative things that happen. When people remember things, they think about the good things. So when people are restoring their cars and they're restoring their houses, they're thinking about the pristine condition that that item used to be in 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. But for you, you might be 20 years old. You might be 30 years old. You might be 40 years old like myself. You could be 50 years old. It doesn't matter the age. If you're willing to put in the work, if you're willing to let your spiritual father lead you and guide you, you, my friend, can also be restored. And your restoration can be your glory. Your restoration can be your personification into a new life. So don't be afraid to be restored. Don't be afraid to put in the hard work. Because a lot of times when people do restoration, you see the car or the house at the end. You see the beautiful 67 Chevy, the 54 Chevy. Or if you're a fan like I am, I'm an 80s guy. I like 80 Monte Carlos. That's just me. That's who I am. But see, we see the glory in the end. You don't see the work that the mechanic put in. You don't see the work that the auto body painter put in. You don't see that work. All the buffing and grinding and scraping over and over and over again till you get it just right. So in your life, man, everyone may not see the work that God is doing within you, but know that work is being done to restore you back to the former glory that he called you into, not who society told you you were. So don't be afraid to be restored. Don't be afraid to go through restoration. It's your boy, Ethan Smith, a.k.a. Mr. P.I.E.N., Mr. Show Up to Blow Up. Have a blessed and wonderful day and allow yourself to be restored, man. I'm out.